Hello, I'm going to be talking about the networking event that I went to called ITU Presents in my school, ITU. This event provides a unique platform for young minds to come together under a single roof. People who work in different fields of study and people who have made different career choices get to interact with each other. This unique platform helps stimulate ideas and innovations. The topic that was being discussed was about transportation disruption and how these business models vary from mainstream. Self-driving cars seems to be the next biggest thing, and the elements discussed here form the key perspective for such modernization. The people I met were from different backgrounds. Some of them were designers for user-facing applications, and some of them were architects who specialized in office spaces. I also met people from finance and some of them from business development. I also met people from hardware engineering and students who were searching for an internship who had never worked before. Everyone seemed to be interested in learning the current trend of the technological business, and that seemed to be the motivation behind being present for the talk. The topic that was spoken about was transportation disruption's third wave and disruptive innovation in general. It was spoken by Mr. Mahbub Alam, CTO and CMO of Movimento. He is an international entrepreneur who fearlessly transforms groundbreaking technologies to improve business outcomes for startups. He is also part of Trillium, which deploys firmware for existing vehicles in a secure fashion. This would definitely be interesting to anyone who aspires to be an entrepreneur one day. This talk was about the history of transportation disruption, and everyone found this to be genuinely interesting and was talking about applying these principles in their own backgrounds and careers as well. We also went through the first two waves of disruption in the transportation industry. He spoke about the advancements in the automotive industry in the same frame of reference. In the 1900s, there were horse carriages all over in the Easter Parade, the Fifth Avenue, New York City, and in the next 13 years, there was a revolution that brought in cars that completely changed the scenario. One of the things that came up during discussion with my fellow students was his recent article about 5G and its effect on autonomous vehicles. The fact that 5G brings down the latency to less than a millisecond has applications almost everywhere, and mostly in Internet of Things, and not just automotive. The ideas we were discussing were around home automation and the speed at which an owner can be alerted of different scenarios at home. Different scenarios may call for different reaction rates, and depending on the priority of the scenario, we can take into consideration a reaction rate that is affordable by the device and the consumer as well. There can be different plans for the end user to choose from, or there can be a plan to extend it with the user's current service provider and extend the coverage, therefore. My personal experiences were different. As I'm not very outgoing, it was very difficult for me to start talking, but luckily the others started talking to me and involved me in the discussions. Once I was involved, I started expressing my opinions, though hesitantly. The easiest was being involved in the discussion and being present and actively listening to what was being discussed. The difficulty was in voicing my opinions, and I would like to improve that in the future, in such a way that I initiate the interactions for these discussions. Overall, it was a good learning experience. It helped me challenge myself and test my communication skills. This helped me gain a different perspective on the current evolving technological industry. This enabled me to understand a little bit of the present, past, and the future related to transportation industry, especially when autonomous vehicles are the buzz. A few of references for my attendance at the networking event. This was my ticket, and these are the pictures I took when I was at the talk itself. This was before the talk started. People were just networking and socializing. And then this is after the talk started. This is Mr. Mahbub Alam giving the talk himself. And this was just before when his introduction was being given. Thank you.